quite some time I've been trying to discuss with you because I believe that the new Cameroon will belong to all Cameroonians, regardless their communities, their background, and gender, and whatever it can be. And the new Cameroon will belong to all Cameroonians. This part of the reason I've been trying my best to address you because Professor Maurice Kamto wants to build this Cameroon with all of us, with all children of Cameroon. And so, guys, I know that many of you will join, we watch this video later on. And for me, what is important today is to know that we can make the change happen in October 2035. Yes, we can stop the war in the Anglophone regions. We can do that because if we have the political willingness to stop the war in the Anglophone regions, we'll be able to do that. The only person who has the willingness, the political willingness to stop the war is Professor Maurice Kamto. This is part of the reason I'm here, guys, to address you. Because this is a time for actions. Yes, I know the pain, I know the frustration, I can understand that. I do know that you've been going through for more than 8 years now. From 2016, you've been suffering. Yes, because the Biya regime has never wanted to stop the war. The Biya regime does not have the willingness to stop the war in the Anglophone regions. And so, as a result of that, many of you have been killed, and many of your families displaced internally, also externally. We know that it's something really troubling for our country because we are a big nation, and we should be able to fix our problems. But one, as we speak, the Biya regime cannot solve that problem. The only person who has the willingness to stop the war is Professor Maurice Kamto. He has an agenda, a plan to stop the war. He's been doing that for his entire career, guys. So we know exactly what he's capable of doing. So instead of keeping whining, crying, complaining, we should be able to take some concrete actions on the ground. We should be able to embrace this opportunity that we have to change our country. And in October 2025, for the upcoming presidential elections, we can do that. We can stop the war in the Anglophone regions if we want to do so. Because we are all Cameroonians. We are brothers and sisters. And I'm here to address you because I do know that it's a topic which is really troubling for all of us. It's a big challenge for all of us. But what are we going to do that? How are we going to fix to settle that issue once for all? We have to count on somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto, guys, because as I have been saying so many times, hello, moi, Mahayan, hello, bonjour à tout le monde, bonjour, yeah, Nahayan, yes, bonjour. You are from India, really? Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm here to talk to my brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions in Cameroon because there is a war which is going on in those regions. Many families are displaced internally, also externally. Many of them are in Nigeria. Some of them are distributed in many cities in Cameroon, Douala, Yaoundé, everywhere, guys. And the war is still continuing on the ground. And the problem that we should be asking ourselves now is how are we going to fix that problem? And if we have somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto, we need to hold that opportunity, to seize the opportunity that Professor Maurice Kamto is providing to us, guys. It's a matter of feeling inside as Cameroonians. And Professor Maurice Kamto is not just saying that just to say. He's been doing that. He's been mediating this kind of situations for his entire career. He knows exactly how he will fix that. Cameroon belongs to all of us. And when Professor Maurice Kamto says that he will fix the war, we all know how he will do that. He has explained so many times. I will repeat those faces again, or the process that we need to go through to fix that problem. Professor Maurice Kamto said, first of all, he will free all those leaders, Anglophone leaders who have been arrested since the beginning of the war, because it's the beginning of everything. They are part of the problem as they will be part of the solution. This is how we all do to settle issues that are of a big concern for our country. Professor Maurice Kamto does understand that. So he will fix the war by freeing, first of all those leaders who have been arrested by the Biya regime. This is the first step. The second step, which is tremendously important, is to call for a ceasefire in those regions, in the Anglophone region. So the army will withdraw to let their place to the gendarmes, the police officers, and as a normal life, and they will keep the peace in those regions, so they will be able to maintain the peace. But the army will withdraw immediately because also Moscow will call for a ceasefire. This is the second step. And then Professor Maurice Kamto, his first trip, his first national trip will be in those regions. He will go there in those regions to reassure our brothers and sisters that they have to feel like Cameroonians because we are children of the same nation. This Professor Maurice Kamto has been repeated so many times. So he will go there and will not alone. He will be surrounded by all people, by the civil society guys and those representing the civil society. He will go there with the representatives of our chiefs and whatever, or all those people who can contribute to solve that issue. Professor Maurice Kamto will go there with all of them. And it will be a big message, very symbolic, but very important because our brothers and sisters in the Anglophone regions who are now do not feel like they belong to Cameroon anymore. They have been repeated many times that for all these years they've been stigmatized. They feel like they have not been taken into account. So this is what they have been asking for. They have been asking for a kind of federalism in which they will be able to manage their own affairs and businesses. And Professor Maurice Kamto knows exactly how to make that possible. So here we go there to reassure all those Cameroonians because there is a distrust and belong between Cameroonians from the Anglophone regions and those in the Anglophone regions. There is a kind of distrust right now, guys. So they do not trust all those people who are coming from the Anglophone regions, even though the problem comes from the Biya regime. You know, they are categorized, everyone, they are generalizing, and they are saying that all Francophones are the problem, when in fact it's not the case, guys. The responsible of the war, which is raged in the Anglophone regions, is Mr. Biya and his regime. This is those guys. They don't want to fix the war. They have been, they have initiated the war and they do not intend to stop it because Mr. Biya does not want to lose even an inch of his power. So if you understand that, if you see that the most credible alternative to Mr. Biya right now is Professor Maurice Kamto, not only because is he capable of fixing that issue, also because he has the political willingness to stop that, guys. Look at all the proposals coming from the political leaders of Cameroon. They don't have anything to offer. They do not ever understand what's going on. Professor Maurice Kamto has been the first to address the issue, the issue of my brothers and sisters. Even way before he jumped into the political arena, he started from there saying that our brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions need to be listened. This is what Professor Maurice Kamto has been repeating and over again. And when the war started, he was the first one to address the issue, to say, guys, we can't go through that kind of war. It's a fratricidal war. We are killing ourselves because what is going on right now is a pity. Our brothers and sisters are shooting at our brothers and sisters. So we are children of the same family. Professor Maurice Kamto said that this is not how we should be able to fix our problem. as a family, as a brothers and sisters of the same country, we should be able to sit down and to talk, to discuss about this issue, guys. It's not something that is way of our capabilities or maybe our skills or capacities or fixing on. We can fix those problems. This is what Most Kamto we do. After that, Most Kamto we create a conducive environment for a dialogue. Yes, Most Kamto has been talking about this inclusive dialogue with all stakeholders. We will sit around a table and discuss because it is how we always settle these kind of issues. And but it's important to know because there is a climate of distrust now. We cannot set that meeting in Cameroon because our brothers and sisters do not trust us anymore. So we will be able to maybe to set that meeting could take place maybe in Nigeria or in some other countries. But around the table, we will have all the representatives of Switzerland, France, England, United Nations. We will have all those representatives around the table because it is how we should be able to fix our issue. It is how we should be able to give a certain credibility to the resolution of that problem. Then through that dialogue, a solution will emerge. We'll be able to find a common ground, a compromise, because it is how all those issues, because after the war, we always sit down and talk and discuss, everywhere. That's why Apostle Moskamto say, why don't we sit down right now as we speak? Are we obliged to go through that kind of fratricidal war? Killing ourselves, and after that we will be obliged to sit down. Why can't we just sit down right now and stop killing peoples in the anglophone regions? Because the massacre there is tremendously terrible, guys. Is it the casualties, and when we talk about many people who are killed, whether in the army or the civilians, the consequences are terrible, guys. We are talking about a chaotic war, and that we should be able to stop. And if we count on somebody like Professor Moskamto, I just explained all the process that Professor Moskamto will take to stop that war. I can guarantee you guys that we will find a common ground. We will be able to find a very long standing solution. We'll be able to find it because we are brothers and sisters of the same country. I don't see how we can let all this problem aside and keep talking about other topics. That's part of the reason I'm addressing you today, guys. Don't stay silent. This is the opportunity which is given to us to address your issue. Professor Moskamto can do that. But first, we need to support him. He needs to become our president. Once he is there as a president of Cameroon, I can guarantee you that Professor Moskamto will stop that massacre, which is still taking place in the anglophone regions. The only person who can stop the war is the president. It's the president. It's not somebody else. All those initiatives which have been taking place in Cameroon cannot solve the issue of my brothers and sisters. The unique person who can stop the war is the president of the republic, and that's why we have to fight. We have to register on the electoral list to vote for Professor Moskamto, because if he becomes our president, we'll be able to solve that issue. If there is no president, if the regime is still there, he will keep killing people. His regime will keep killing people. That's what he's been doing for the past 43 years, guys. It's not just against you, it's against all Cameroonians, regardless their tribes or whatever their background, whatever their origin. The Biya regime just wants to stay in power. They don't care about the situation of Cameroonians. That's why we cannot keep crying, complaining, whining, saying, okay, what can we do? How are we going to do that? No, this is the opportunity which is given to us to invite all our brothers and sisters. This water, our brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions should be doing. Look at what is happening in the far north of Cameroon. Those guys now, they are waking up. They are trying to address these presidential elections. They are saying we have to stop, we have to be involved in these presidential elections because if we do not make our voice heard, somebody else will take the decision on our behalf. We will have a president who will be still maybe that I am sure that it will be Mr. Bia, but Mr. Bia has been imposed on us for so long time. We know that behind Mr. Bia you have France. France, it doesn't want Cameroon to free itself. But right now, we have for somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto. He's not claiming to be what a nationalist or whatever it can be. You have to scrutinize the actions of Professor Maurice Kamto. What he really wants to do in Cameroon. It's not about talk, guys. It's about having a plan. It's about having a political agenda to fix our problems, to set our issue. He is not going to settle the issue of the Anglophone regions and to say, okay, that's all. Professor Moskamto says many times that he will have a commission which will be working to reconcile Cameroonians because we need the reconciliation in our country. Because you look at what is happening. There is so division in Cameroon, but there's no surprise there because any dictatorship survives through this kind of division. If Mr. Biya is still in power after 4 decades, it's because he has been able to divide Cameroonians. And now, what Cameroonians are doing is against their own interests. Cameroonians do not know that by trying to say francophones are all responsible. We are forgetting that at the end of the day, we are all children of the same country. And there is nothing there which can stop Mr. Biya, his regime, to killing people in the Anglophone regions. There is nothing there who can stop them. The only person who has the political willingness to stop the war is Professor Maurice Kamto. The Biya regime will keep doing what they are doing. The army will be there as they've been, they have been occupying the Anglophone regions for more than 8 years, and they have not been able to stop the war because there is a certain resistance on the ground, and now people are saying, what can we do? What are you going to do to stop the war? Are you going to keep whining, crying, complaining without doing anything? We need some concrete actions, guys. For more than 8 years, you've been saying, okay, we don't belong to Cameroon anymore. We want to have our country. What? Okay, I understand that. But the reality is that the situation has not changed on the ground. Things have worsened, as we speak. Things are getting worse and worse every day. So if we want to stop the war, we need to count on somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto. There is no time for crying now, guys. This is the time for actions. This is what we should be doing. Professor Maurice Kamto has been saying many times, what he will do in Cameroon will be to give all guys, all children of Cameroon opportunities to work for their country, to put themselves at the service of the construction of the nation. This is how we can develop our country. But first, we need to be united. There is no time now to be divided because when we are divided, we cannot resist before that kind of competition. The competition now is really terrible, guys. The competition is massive as we speak. We have to defend ourselves against Chinese, against Indians, against United States, whatever, Americans. We have a very difficult situation, and the competition is just massive. And if we are not united, we can't have we can be competitive in the world. If you want to build up our nation, if we want to develop our country, look at what is happening. There is no hospitals with with those facilities that we need. There is no towers as we speak. Many accidents are taking place every day. Are we going to keep whining, crying without doing anything? Are you going to keep saying we don't belong to Cameroon, that our children, that we need to build our nation, whatever it can be, guys? There is no time for that now. There is no time. For 8 years, my brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions have been complaining, saying that they want out their nation, they want their country. For 8 years, many children have not been able to go to school. Now look at what they are doing. They're involved in prostitution. Many of them are drug dealers. There is no education. What are they becoming for 8 years? And now we keep saying the same thing. We need our country. We need this. We need that. No, we have somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto, who is saying, we do understand your problem. We do understand that for more than for so long time, you are being stigmatized, you are being let aside. This is a time for us to involve you in everything we do, to involve you in the development of our country. Because to be honest, guys, look at our country. Is it in a better place now since Mr. Biya have in power 43 years ago? No. All Cameroonians are suffering, guys. We know that your situation is far more critical. Your situation is terrible. We do understand that. But all Cameroonians are suffering regardless their origin, regardless their tribes. And now Cameroonians, instead of coming together as one nation, as one people to face their own destiny, then they are dividing themselves. And when we do that, the Biya regime is very happy. The tyrant is very happy. He's saying, okay, these guys, they are dividing themselves. Now I can stay in power as long as possible. There is no time, guys, to let yourselves be manipulated. Those who are, promising many things that we will have our country, we will have that, it's not going to happen, guys. Look at what has been happening for more than 8 years. Many civilians have been killed. The consequences are just terrible. And are you going to keep doing what we are doing, crying? This is a time for us, for all Anglophone regions, to go outside there and to register on electoral lists, to vote for Professor Maurice Kamto when time comes, and to be able to defend their vote. Because Professor Maurice Kamto is the only alternative to stop the war. He is the only guy who can stop the war. There is nobody outside there who understands first the problem. Because it's about understanding the problem. I keep reminding you that Professor Maurice Kamto has been addressing the Anglophone regions, the Anglophone problem, way before the war burst on the ground. Way before that, guys. Immediately after his arrival in the political arena, Professor Maurice Kamto has been addressing the Anglophone regions, the Anglophone problem. He's been saying, our brothers and sisters of the Anglophone regions have been repeatedly saying that they feel like they have been let aside, they feel like they have been stigmatized, and we need to stop and listen to them. This is what Professor Maurice Kamto has been saying since 2012. That Professor Maurice Kamto started, working, being part of the political arena. Professor Maurice Kamto has been saying that we need to stop and listen to them, because this is the only thing we can do. Professor Maurice Kamto has been mediator in many, many crises around the world, in Africa. So he knows what he's talking about. When he said that he will fix and settle the issue of the Anglophone regions immediately after his arrival in power, because he knows what he's talking about. He said that his first trip will be there, and then he will sit down with all stakeholders and to settle that issue once for all. And after the dialogue, all measures that will be written in our constitution, because this is the best way to give a strong credibility to those actions. We can't say now that we keep talking without implementing things in the constitution, that we give a sense of responsibility and seriousness and credibility. But Maurice Kamto does understand that. So we will have all stakeholders around the table, and after our dialogue, the federalism of two states will be written in our constitution. The Anglophone regions will represent one federal state, while the Francophone regions will be the second federal state. So we will have two federal states. This is important to know, guys. But what Maurice Kamto has been saying so many times, that guys, we need to be honest. Look at the situation. Look at the economic situation of Cameroon now. Our economy is plummeting. The inflation is skyrocketing. Look at what we are doing now. Things are getting tight every day. Cameroonians are suffering. They are not able to put food on the table. They are struggling. They are struggling. The middle class have been crushed. Has been crushed over these years. Has been squeezed over these years. The situation is terrible, guys. Everyone is suffering in Cameroon. So if we are being honest, we need to recognize this situation. And Professor Maurice Kamto said last time, and he said many times, that after implementing this federalism of two states, the federal state, which will be the Francophone, which will include all Francophone regions, will then extend the federalism within Francophone regions, because this is the best way for us for allocating the resources within all those regions and to allow our country to get developed very, very quickly. And if we want to do that, and then we need to rely on somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto. He has a plan to solve all these issues, guys. Look at what is happening. You have for these guys we call Ben Skinner. They are everywhere. We have for 2 million of Ben Skinner in Cameroon. What are they doing? Are they creating wealth for our nation? Can we develop our country with all this Ben Skinner? No, we can't do that. This the best way to destroy our economy, the little economy we have. This is the best way to do that. We can't be competitive with all this Ben Skinner. We need Cameroonians who are well trained, who are competent to do something else. Like we lack potable water, for instance. So basic needs like potable water. How are we going to do that? How are we going to build plans that will provide this potable water? We need to count on Cameroonians. We lack electricity, energy. We can, attract these national and foreign investors without electricity, without energy. That's what Professor Maurice Kamto said. He will train all Cameroonians. We train all of them, guys, because they will be able to take care of their own country. They'll be able to build up plans for potable water, for energy, so for electricity. If we say now that we will invest in the agriculture, how are we going to do that? If we need a technology, if we need to transform our products industrially, we need to count on Cameroonians. But why not Cameroonians are not able to do that? Because they don't have the competencies of that, the qualifications of doing that. So Professor Maurice Kamto want to train all these Cameroonians. We don't need Ben Skinners in our country anymore. Ben Skinner, they are not able to create any wealth for our country. A serious country cannot count on Ben Skinner to develop itself. Like Cameroon. Cameroon is a big country, guys. And Professor Maurice Kamto has a plan to take all these people together and to build a nation. But first, he wants to train them, to give them a formation, that they will be able to learn how maybe to build up our roads. For instance, we have no tar roads as we speak. There are many accidents every day. Many people are crying because they have their loved ones who have been killed during the accident. And how are we going to solve that, guys? We have a lack of potable water. How are we going to solve that? We need Cameroonians to build plants to provide potable water to our citizens. How are we going to be able to transform our foods? Because this about that, we need the kind of technology that will allow us to certify, to meet the needs nationally, but to be able to export our products out of overseas, out of Cameroon. We have a country like Nigeria. Nigeria will be consuming our product. If we are able to industrialize our country, I can guarantee you that, guys, that we need just 10 years to be a developed country. It's a matter of political willingness. Cameroonians are so dynamic. They are so intelligent. I'm not saying that because I'm a Cameroonian, but when you go everywhere, everyone is talking about Cameroonians. I think that these guys are very proactively ready to build up their country. They are very dynamic, but we don't know why they are not doing that. Yes, we are not doing that because the big barrier that we have is the Biya regime. The Biya regime cannot allow us to develop ourselves. We need to get rid of that regime. We need to count on a new leadership like the one that will be embodied by Professor Maurice Kamto. Because if we count on somebody like him, he is a man of integrity. He's a credible man. He's a man who has been working for himself. So he is not just there to talk. No, he is a guy who knows exactly what he's talking about. He has been, if you look at what he has done for himself, guys, you will see that he has done a lot. Ciao, Nahanya. So if you look at what Professor Maurice Kamto has done for himself, he has been very successful. If you go outside there and scrutinize what Professor Maurice Kamto has done for Cameroon, for many African countries, you will understand that that guy will be able to defend our interests everywhere. He will be working on our behalf, guys, everywhere. We need to free ourselves from France, from England, for all those countries, guys. We need to control our economy. We need to base our economy on Cameroonians. Only Cameroonians. We are able to do that. But who is going to be our leader? The only person who has the competency, the qualification to do the job, the temperament to do the job is Professor Maurice Kamto. There is nobody outside there, guys. So because we need to be serious, guys. This time has to be dedicated to actions. We have to dedicate all ourselves to make the change happen in October 2025. Because after 2025, if nothing has changed, we will keep whining, crying, as we've been doing for more than 8 years. And we've been crying for more than 8 years, but have you seen anything change on the ground? No, nothing has changed on the ground, guys. Instead, things have worsened. The situation is very chaotic, guys. It's a turmoil on the ground in the anglophone regions. Things are becoming really, really terrible. We are talking about a tragedy, a fratricidal war in the anglophone regions. And yet we are here crying, whining, without doing anything, without taking any concrete action to reverse that, to turn things around. When Professor Maurice Kamto is making a proposal, guys, let's come together. Let's try to get rid of the Biya regime and force them to step down. Let's, trying to fight for our own interests, to force the Biya regime to step down and start building up our country. This is what Professor Maurice Kamto has been saying. Professor Maurice Kamto cannot do that alone. Professor Maurice Kamto will do that only with us, guys. Professor Maurice Kamto always believes that it is when we are united that we always succeed. If we are united, not only will we be able to succeed, but we will be able to free ourselves from France. Because now, what are we doing? We are still using the seafare. they call the CFA. CFA is a money, a currency that belongs to France. We cannot develop our country with that kind of currency. We need our own currency, guys. So we look at our debt now, our national debt. It's a tragedy. It's really a tragedy. Because all the transactions which have been taking place in Cameroon have been for Biya regime and his guys. They have been embezzling the public money. That money has not been serving us. That's why you have no infrastructures on the ground. That's why you have no town halls, no hospitals with facilities. There is nothing there, guys, because they have been embezzling the public money. Are we going to keep whining, crying, saying all things that we all know? We all know these things because we are suffering under our skin. We know that it's not a matter of Maurice Kamto or somebody else who is saying that. We are suffering in the core of our heart, guys. Maurice Kamto is saying, guys, let's come together. I'm not a savior. I don't know. I'm not Jesus Christ. Maurice Kamto has been saying that many times. I'm just a Cameroonian. I'm just somebody like you. If we come together, then we'll be able to free ourselves. But you have some people who are saying, Maurice Kamto has been serving the Biya regime. Serving the Biya regime on what? Because of him, we'll be able to have the peninsula, the Bakassi Peninsula back to us. This is because of Maurice Kamto. This is because he's been working very diligently to make that happen. This would the hard work that Maurice Kamto did for us, guys. So we need to be honest about this kind of topic. Maurice Kamto is saying that let's come together, let's defend ourselves, let's force the Biya regime to step down and start building our country. Maurice Kamto wants to put all Cameroonians in the core of our development. This is what is the difference here in this election. The difference in this election is that on one side, you have somebody who is preparing himself. I'm talking about the Biya regime. He is, they are preparing themselves just for any electoral fraud because this is the only thing that they know. This is what they've been doing. And now what they are serving us is the division, the tribalism. This is what they are serving to us right now as we speak. If you go to any social media, this is what they are doing. They are serving that to Cameroonians because they have no agenda to build up our nation. They have nothing to propose. They have no proposal to build up our nation, guys. On the other hand, you have Maurice Kamto, who is a credible alternative to Mr. Biya. He has a plan to develop our country, guys. He has a plan to bring our country to the position in which we are supposed to be, because we have to make our country very competitive. We have somebody like Maurice Kamto because he has a project to build up our nation. He has a plan, guys. He wants to count on all Cameroonians, regardless of background. Maurice Kamto does not care where you come from. This is not the most important thing. The most important thing for Maurice Kamto, it is not your origin. It is what you are capable of doing. And if you are not capable of doing anything, Maurice Kamto will consider you, will take you into account, will train you. Maurice Kamto will train you. Yes, Maurice Kamto will give you that training that will allow you to start, feeling like you are serving your country, that you are contributing to the evolution, to the development of your country. This is what Maurice Kamto wants to do, guys. There is nothing hidden behind what Maurice Kamto wants to do. What are we doing to help him in this process? Because freeing our country from a dictatorship, we are talking about 40-year dictatorship, guys. It's not something easy. Look at what Maurice Kamto is doing. He doesn't count on anything else. He doesn't count on any army, foreign army, or any weapons. Maurice Kamto counts only on Cameroonians. What are we doing? Are we trying to help him out? Are we trying to support him in this matter? Because Freeing our country is not, it's not just about Professor Maurice Kamto. It's about our children. It's about our grandsons. It's about the next generations. We have the key of our freedom in our hands, guys. The liberation will come only when Cameroonians will come together as one people, as one nation. If you are able to do that, you will see all the difference, guys. If you are able to do that, we will reverse the whole process, and you will see that everything will be favoring us to free ourselves. But if we are not able to do that, after October 2025, the Biya regime will stay in power, and we will keep whining, crying, and a lot casualties will keep, feeling things, feeling our country even. We will keep feeling our countries even after 2025. What are we doing? Are we serious about our trust? Are we serious about what we intend to do now? Are we keeping complaining without doing anything? Or now are we trying to persuade our brothers and sisters to reduce electoral list, to try changing things? We are talking about a concrete change, guys. A true change, an authentic change. It's not the kind of change that you are observing overseas, that you are observing in the other African countries. This is the most authentic change because we know Professor Maurice Kamto. We've been observing him. We know exactly what he is capable of doing. We have been observing, scrutinizing what he is able to do, guys. And then we know that Professor Maurice Kamto wants to build up our country with all Cameroonians. This is the most important thing. We are so divided now. Professor Maurice Kamto is making many proposals to solve our issues. Look at what he's doing. He said that, okay, after fixing the war in the anglophone region, after stopping the war in those regions, Professor Maurice Kamto will be providing incentives to and bailout to companies. Those companies which on the brink of bankruptcy and collapsing. Professor Maurice Kamto will provide them with a bailout, to help them and stay afloat. Because this is the best way to encourage those investors to keep investing. But Professor Maurice Kamto, we will also encourage, we provide incentives to those who are willing to invest in those regions. So they will not be paying taxes in the beginning, because this is the best way to incite all those who are willing to invest in the anglophone regions after stopping the war, after fixing everything, after having everyone around the table and finding the final solution, after implementing the federalism, after building the houses which have been burned down to ashes in the past years. Professor Maurice Kamto then will create a conducive environment for businesses, guys. We provide incentives, bailout to companies, to investors in order to allow the business to take place, to take off in those regions. This is the only thing we can do, guys. This is the only thing we can do. There is nothing else that we can try to do when, in fact, it's a matter of if it's a matter of trying to fix things. Professor Maurice Kamto is not a guy who is crying without doing anything. Because if we cry without doing anything, Professor Maurice Kamto is crying in the core of his heart. Just like all Cameroonians, we are all crying, knowing that what is happening in the anglophone regions is just a pity. It's a fratricide war. He is crying, but at the same time, the difference is that Professor Maurice Kamto is crying, but he is trying to find a solution. This is the difference. Trying to find a solution means that Professor Maurice Kamto has the political willingness to solve our issue, because he loves all children of Cameroon. Professor Maurice Kamto does not intend to lose any child of Cameroon, guys. This is the only difference. This is why we are, some are crying, some are saying we want our country, we want our Cameroon. It's not changing anything. Because for more than 8 years, the Anglophone leaders have been telling you that we need our country. But what is it changing on the ground? Nothing. The situation is worsening, guys. The situation is worsening. So we need somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto because he has a solution to fix our problem. Now, some are saying Professor Maurice Kamto is just a politician like everyone else. That Professor Maurice Kamto will not be able to solve that issue. This is what they are saying. But if you go to and scrutinize the professional career of Professor Maurice Kamto, you will discover that he has been always an honest man. Professor Maurice Kamto has been always an honest man. So Professor Maurice is honest when he says that he will fix that problem. He's not joking. We can't joke with the lives of Cameroonians. Professor Maurice Kamto wants all Cameroonians to sit around a table and to talk with all stakeholders. Even those who are claiming now for cessation, Professor Maurice Kamto will have them around the table. Because Professor Maurice Kamto wants to convince them that this is not the best option for us. The only option for us is to try to reconcile as brothers and sisters of the same country. So Professor Maurice Kamto does not close the door to anyone outside there who is saying, okay, let's fix our problem. No, Professor Maurice Kamto is very open, guys. Then some people are saying when he was in Canada, he refused to talk with some Anglophone brothers and sisters. It's not that, guys, because you can't come with a flag of another country that you claim to be and that you want Professor Maurice Kamto to sit down to talk. What kind of conversation is it, that one? Professor Maurice Kamto said we need an open conversation with all stakeholders to discuss about our matter. We are children of the same country, guys. We can't let ourselves be divided as we've been doing for more than 8 years. Better for a political, for the agenda of Mr. Biya, because the only agenda of Mr. Biya is to stay in power as long as possible. He is able to let the country even, burst out, break down in order to stay in power. He does not care. Mr. Biya and his regime do not care about what is happening to Cameroonians. The only guy who is caring right now is Professor Maurice Kamto, guys. It's Professor Maurice Kamto. He is the only guy. There's no one outside there who can, who can stop that war. Because it's also a matter of being, having the qualification of doing that. It's not just about talk. Actions speak volume than words. So when you are talking about something, you need to know exactly what you are talking about. That's why Professor Maurice Kamto has been making proposals, so many proposals to stop the war. And what are we doing? Look at the far north of Cameroon. Mr. Biya has been claiming for more than 4 decades that the far north always votes for him. Look at what is happening there. The far north of our country, those Cameroonians now are waking up. They are saying this time we are not going to vote for Mr. Biya. They are openly saying that. Even Cameroonians from the south, where Mr. Biya is originated, now they are saying we are not going to vote for Mr. Biya. Because they have been, for more than 4 decades, they've been claiming to be that Mr. Biya is their brother and that Mr. Biya is their father. But what are you doing with that? If he was really their brother and their father, what has he done for them? He has not done anything for them. Instead, he has made all those people poorer and poorer. Mr. Abia has, he has impoverished all Cameroonians, regardless their origin. He doesn't care. He has been destroying everything. Our country needs to be respected once again. We need somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto. He has a project, guys. He wants to build all the whole Cameroon will become, an area of construction, everywhere, all sectors, from the drum, from the electricity, the energy, from the plants, from the industrialization, from providing basic needs to Cameroonians, from the transportation, for all these things, guys, this is what we need. We need potable water in our country. We need energy supply in our country. This is what we need. We need electricity. We need towers in our country, guys. What are we doing now? Are we going to take our responsibility? Are we going to make some concrete actions? Are we going to act now instead of crying? Instead of whining? Are we going to change things on the ground? Are we going to convince, to persuade our brothers and sisters to electoralists, to vote for Bosomo's come to and be able to stay mobilized in order to defend our vote? Are we going to do that, or are we going to keep crying with no actions, as we've been doing for more than 8 years, letting things worsen on the ground? What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Some are saying we don't need to vote, we don't need to do this, we don't need to do that. You don't go. If you don't vote, Mr. Abia will organize the election, and we have, we manipulate some Cameroonians who will act as opposition leaders, and here we go for the election. This is what Mr. Abia has been doing for more than 8 years, for more than 4 decades, I must say. And now, if we have the opportunity to turn the Bia's page, we need to grab this opportunity. We need, and the opportunity, the unique opportunity that we have is that we are not just turning the page of Mr. Abia. We are counting on somebody like Professor Maurice Kamto, who will embody a new leadership, the kind of leadership we know, which will be strong, which will be very, very offensive to make our country a better place for living. Very offensive when it comes to defend our interests. Professor Maurice Kamto knows exactly what he's talking about when he says, I will settle the issue of the anglophone regions. He knows exactly what he's talking about. When he says, I will be defending the interests of all Cameroonians everywhere, because he knows that, guys. He's been doing that for his entire career. The world is managed through two things: finance and text. This is what we should know, guys. So that's why we've been saying we have to get out of these things that have been signed on our behalf, because we can we can't feed ourselves with a foreign currency like the one which like the CFA, the franc CFA, the so-called franc CFA. We can't feed ourselves with that, guys. That's why we need somebody who is strong, like Professor Maurice Kamto, a nationalist. But we cannot count on somebody who will count on France to arrive in power, because we create a compromise. Because if you do that, you can't free yourself. But if we count on Professor Maurice Kamto, who is only counting on Cameroonians, in the beginning, some people were saying he's just a puppet, that he is instrumentalized by France. But now all Cameroonians are saying, yeah, that guy is really strong. Professor Maurice Kamto is really defending the interests of Cameroonians. Maurice Kamto is a country only on Cameroonians. Many people now agree on that, but in the beginning, it was not the case. In the beginning, there was a lot of suspicion. In the beginning, people were accusing him to be manipulated by France, to be a puppet, to be the puppet of France, and things like that. But now it's not the case, guys. Now people have discovered the truth that Maurice Kamto wants to arrive in power only through Cameroonians' vote. That's why we need to be ready to vote and to defend our vote, guys. If we stay mobilized, if we fill the streets after voting, you will see that Mr. Bia will step down. We will force the Bia regime to step down. But we can't do that if we are not mobilized. We can't do that if we do not seize this opportunity to register and to vote for some Maurice Kamto and to stay ready to defend our vote. We have to follow all these three stages, these three phases. Register into our voting for Maurice Kamto, and stay mobilized in order to defend our vote. This is the only recipe we have, guys. There's no time for crying, complaining. We've been doing that for more than 8 years. Have you seen something change on the ground? Instead, things are getting worse. Things are getting worse. Now, there are some people who keep manipulating and our brothers and sisters. And in the anglophone regions, they are telling them that they will have a country. They are building a country in their mind. But this is not what is happening. Many children have not been educated. They have not been going to school for more than 8 years, guys. Look at what they are becoming now. They are all involved in any kind of prostitution, drug dealing, and things like that. Terrible things. What are they becoming? We have more than 100,000 people in Nigeria. What are they doing there? What are they eating? How are they surviving? Many of our brothers and sisters now they are everywhere. They are spread in many cities in Cameroon, Yaoundé, Douala, things. Look at what they are doing. They are not doing anything. Many of them are in the streets. They are in the streets. They are stealing. They are not doing anything. Anything, guys. Girls are involved in prostitution. We are talking about very smart people, wise guys who were supposed to build up the next nation. What are they becoming? And you have some people who keep supporting the war, who do not want to stop that war. The Bia regime is doing that, but you have also some brothers and sisters of the anglophone regions who are manipulating the population, letting them know that somehow they will have the country, the so-called country. It's not going to happen. People are dying on the ground. It's a terrible situation, guys. With Maurice Kamto, you have an alternative. Maurice Kamto wants to build up the new Cameroon with all Cameroonians. This is the difference. Then people try, to say, okay, sometimes there are some brothers and sisters of the anglophone regions who are saying, Maurice Kamto is even worse than Mr. Bia. Really? Maurice Kamto is worse than Mr. Bia? Are you sure about what you are saying? When you see what Mr. Bia has done to Cameroonians, you are saying that Maurice Kamto is worse than Mr. Bia? Really, guys, I'm just, I'm not laughing, but I'm crying in the core of my heart. Because if You look at what Professor Kamto has done for himself, for Cameroon, for many African countries, you understand that he is a man of peace, a man of integrity. If we have somebody like him as our commander in chief, as our new leader, you will see the whole difference in Cameroon, guys. Because if now we are, there is so division in Cameroon, if there is the war in the Anglophone regions, part of that is not because in the beginning it was because the situation in those regions was really chaotic. And people, the resources are not fairly distributed within the country. So that's why those guys are saying we deserve better. They feel like they are stigmatized. They feel like they are not considered, they are not treated as Cameroonians. That's why they decided to stand up and and to defend themselves. But Professor Moskamto is saying after 8 years of war, after many killings, we have to sit down and to stop that war, that massacre. The consequences are just terrible. It's a tragedy for our nation, for our country, guys. This is the only solution. We have no other option, Rwanda, as we speak. There is no other man that Posomos come to Rwanda as we speak. All those people who are selling you things that they cannot provide, they are just doing that because of their interests, for because of their political position. But they have nothing to offer. The only person who has something to offer is Posomos Kamto. The only person who knows how to fix these things is Posomos Kamto. This is what you should know, guys. This is the agenda of Posomos Kamto. He wants Cameroonians to come together once again. Because if we are one people, if we are really united, you will see the whole difference. Cameroonians are so smart, so wise. Look at what they are doing abroad, overseas. Look at what they are capable of doing, guys. Everywhere you go, you will see you will see that Cameroonians are still distinguishing themselves from others. They are always trying to strive, to uplift their performance everywhere they go, everything they do. They always want to be the best in everything they do because this the true nature of Cameroonians. This is what yeah, maybe I'm not saying maybe we are really blessed. We are blessed with the nature because I can guarantee you guys that if Professor Moskamto arrives in power, you will see the whole difference because we have he said that we will be able to build up our nation with all Cameroonians. Those guys called Ben Skinner, all those guys will be they will receive a training in all sectors and for building up our towers, providing the energy, the electricity, and things like that. We count all Cameroonians to build up our nation. And look at our diaspora. Posomos Kamto wants to create a bank of the diaspora because instead of because our debt, as you speak, is massive, and that debt is not serving us. That debt is serving the Bia regime. It's not helping us to build up our infrastructures. That the debt now is really salty, guys. How are we going to reimburse that debt? It's terrible. That's why Posomos Kamto wants to count on the diaspora by creating this bank of diaspora in which the diaspora we save we will let their money, and that money will be used to develop our country. It's so that the diaspora will receive a small interest on that money, but it will be a lower interest compared to what China has been imposed on us, guys. And if we have somebody like Apostle Morse Kamto who wants to unite Cameroonians, you will see the whole difference because it's a question of credibility, guys. If you have somebody like him, many entrepreneurs will rise up. You will see many national and foreign investors coming and in Cameroon, coming to Cameroon to build up the industries, and you will see all these guys are trying to do something in Cameroon, guys. The tourism once again will take off in Cameroon. We need all this money. We need all these guys. I'm just crying. I'm crying in the core of my heart because our potential is huge. But what are we doing with all of that? What are we doing with all, or with everything we have, with the nature we have, guys? What are we doing to promote the agriculture in the far north of Cameroon? There we can cultivate everything, all foods we need, guys. But what are we doing? We are not doing anything at all because we have a president who has no ambition, no vision to develop our country. He has never has one, guys, for more than 4 decades. The guy is just there to enjoy himself without doing anything. Are we going to keep observing them? Look at the corruption, the level of corruption now. It's terrible. It's terrible, guys. It's terrible. We all know all these things. So what I'm just telling you is just to remind us about our sufferings, but we are all feeling that under our skin. So it's not a matter of talking, but it's a matter of trying to say, yeah, surviving is not a project of life. This is what we've been going through it for the past 4 decades. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? Now everyone is just thinking about cash, about money, about because the corruption has been part of our life for more than 4 decades. What are we doing? We have somebody, Apostle Maurice Kamto, who is saying, guys, let's come together. Let's try to change our country. Let's try to build up our country all together. Then you have some people who do not want to listen to that message because of for some personal egoistic interest. They do not want to hear from Apostle Maurice Kamto. They don't want to listen to this message when in fact he wants the general interest to prevail in our country. He wants Cameroonians once again to say, guys, we are all children of this nation. Let's try to work together. What are we doing, guys? What are we doing? What are we doing? Let's make a difference during these upcoming presidential elections. Let's make a difference. We can do that. We have the potential of doing that. We have the potential of forcing the BR regime to step down. Yes, we can do that, guys. Let's reduce electoralists. Let's convince our brothers and sisters. This is the only thing, this is the only option we have. We have no other option. Apostle Maurice Kamto is a chance for us. It's an opportunity for us, guys. It's not every day that we have somebody like him. You know his his career, his professional career. You know his sense of responsibility. Apostle Maurice Kamto is a man of integrity. He's a man that we can all trust. He is a guy with some potential, some qualifications that we need right now. He is not only dynamic, but he is a guy who is truly resilient to work on our behalf, guys. We need somebody like him. It's not every day that we have somebody like Apostle Maurice Kamto. We've been waiting for a guy like him for more than 4 decades. And we have the chance to have him with us. Let's explore this opportunity. Let's explore this chance that which is given to us, guys. We have no other option. So there is now some are saying we need an anglophone as a president. Do you think that this is what is the most important thing when it comes to change a nation? Changing a nation requires a lot of investment. It requires a vision, an ambition, guys. It's not because you are anglophone that you can fix problems. That you can settle some the biggest issues of Cameroon. It's not about that. It's about your proposal. What are you proposing? What are you offering to Cameroonians? What's the ambition? What's the ambition? What's your vision? This is the what should be, giving us the sense of making sure that we are all really willing to build up something really strong in Cameroon. This is what we should be doing, guys. Okay? I don't know if we are going to seize this opportunity, but I trust you. I trust all of us that for once we wake up, yes, we'll be sleeping for more than 4 decades. We'll be, letting ourselves be the object of so much division because this is what Mr. Abia likes so much. He's been very successful in doing that, dividing Cameroonians. And now, when you see what Cameroonians are doing, they are not trying to understand what's going on. They are always subjectively, taking positions, trying to understand things, trying to support their leaders. They do not care about any objective things. They do not care about any proposals. They do not care. When in fact, the most important thing should be the project of those leaders. What are they offering? What are they proposing? But right now, it's not the case. Right now, we are so divided. Right now, we believe that our communities can save us when it's not the case. It can never happen. It's not about community. Even in our own community, we have bad and good people. How are we suddenly thinking that all good people come from our community? That's why Apostle Maurice Kamto always said that, when you were born somewhere, it was just a matter of a big surprise. It's not because you did something to born somewhere. It's casual when you were born in Cameroon, or where you were born as in the northern and southern regions of our country, or when you were born in the south or far north of Cameroon. It's just casual. He always said that the most important thing is when we will decide to come together, guys. Yes, to come together because we are all brothers and sisters. And this is what should be galvanizing us. Because we have somebody like him who is not there to divide Cameroonians, who has a plan to solve our issue, who wants to stop the war in the anglophone regions, who wants to build up infrastructures in Cameroon in order to provide jobs to all Cameroonians. Look at what is happening. Our situation is really chaotic. When in fact we have a lot of potential, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing with all the potential we have? Also, most Kamto wants all Cameroonians to come together to be the captain of our own ship, guys. Yes, we have to defend our own destiny, to be in the face of our own destiny. We cannot let our lives in the hands of somebody else. We cannot keep letting our lives in the hands of Mr. Bia and his regime. This is the biggest mistake that we've been making in the past 4 decades. We've been saying, I'm not involved in politics, I'm not a politician, and things like that. If you are not involved in politics, politics always interfere in your life, regardless your position or your posture. They do not care. All decisions politicians take always make a big difference in our own lives. Whether you are involved in politics or not, it does not change anything, guys. So there's no time now to crying there's no time to cry and whine. There's no time for that. There's no time for doing that, guys. There's no time now to pointing fingers to some other people. The only guy who has destroyed our country, the only responsible, is Mr. Bia and his regime. It's not the francophones who are the responsible for the chaotic situation which is prevailing in Cameroon. Francophones are just suffering, just like all Cameroonians. You know, they are suffering. Look at what is happening. Look at the way they are not able to put food on the table. They are not able to eat 3 times by day. They are not able to afford the health care. There is no hospital. There are no hospitals in Cameroon. So everyone is suffering. Everyone, guys. Regardless your gender, your intellect, or your community, whatever it can be, their regime does not care. They have decided to concentrate all the resources in their hands, letting all other Cameroonians apart. They do not care. They have confiscated the institutions, all our resources, guys. And we are here, and instead of trying to come together and defend ourselves, we are here to point the fingers at ourselves. And the regime is very happy when they see what we are doing. They say, okay, yeah, because they are not inventing anything. This is what those who colonize, the colonizers of Africa, have been doing in the past 4 decades: divide and conquer. We all know that. We all know the recipe they've been applying to us, guys. And now we want to let ourselves being manipulated by Mr. Biya, as they've been doing for more than 4 decades, starting pointing fingers at ourselves. No, we are not going to do that. Let's try to move on. Let's try to count on somebody to support Professor Maurice Kamto, because he has a vision, he has an ambition to build up our country. He wants to do it with all Cameroonians because he cannot do that alone. What is before us, guys, is massive. The challenges are massive, guys. One man alone cannot do that. One community alone cannot do that. Intellects alone cannot do that. We have to come together, all together, to do that, guys. This was the small message that I wanted to share with you today. I do hope that you are going to share with your brothers and sisters, and that we are going to keep persuading everyone that the only option we have now is Post must come to, and that we should go and register our dual list very soon. For those who have not done it yet, we have to register a dual list and to vote for Post must come to. It's the only option we have. There is no other option, guys. This was my message today, because we are how many months? We are 5 years from the electoral day. Yes. What are we doing? 5 months for changing our situation, from turning things around, from reversing our sufferings, guys. We have 5 months. Can we do that? Yes, we can. We can. We have the potential. If we are united, we will free ourselves. There is no doubt about this. I'm very, very convinced that we can do that, guys. We can do that. We can free ourselves. In the next in October 2025, we can do that. I'm convinced that we can do that, guys. I'm persuaded that if we are organized now, we will do that. We will do that. We free ourselves. So please share this video with your brothers and sisters and subscribe. And let's doing what we are doing. And the journey has just begun. Let's keep doing it, guys. Okay. Okay. This was the purpose of this live today. And I do hope for those after the live, of course, many of you will be able to watch it and to share. It's important, and to keep mobilizing ourselves, because to keep sensitizing, and because I'm convinced that it is the only option we have right now. I'm confident about the upcoming presidential elections. We can do that, guys. We can rely on somebody that Professor Maurice Kamto. He's the best option. He's the best candidate. Yes, we can do it. We can do it if we work together, guys. Okay. See you next time, because we have just begun this journey. Up to the electoral day, we'll be trying to sensitize as we are doing and mobilizing Cameroonians because this is the only thing we should be doing right now as I speak. If we don't do anything, the situation will get worse and worse every day as the regime has been making things. And so what we can do is just to work together, to come together and to defend ourselves against the regime. Guys, okay, share this video with your friends and subscribe. Okay, bye bye.